So I did a video recently about Little Miss Muffet and the whole idea of tuffet and everything, and then I did some research on it and looking into it and the meaning of tuffet, which is almost like an Ottoman, and then the Ottoman Empire is actually Turkish, and then I looked at the flag for the Turkish flag, right, and it's red. Red is I am and the chakras and stuff like that, or am as a being. And it's also root chakra as well, from where you come from. That could be like past ancestors, all the way back, bloodline, stuff like that. And then I thought about the sun and, or sorry, the moon and the star. So you say am, moon, star. The whole idea of how from within outwards, everything's like a projection. What's manifested, what's created from within outwards. And then interestingly enough, I have like a star on the roof, right? And if you were to look at it, and I don't care if people see this, I don't give a shit, but if you were to look at it, right, if you can see, and when you spin one way, it goes the opposite, and you spin the other way, it goes the opposite. Now this would be my childlike self, the reasons I do certain things. Probably some of which is for protection, but you know what? I'm pretty much protected as long as I'm staying on my right path and I'm doing what's meant for me, and I'm being respectful to other people, and I'm not self-sabotaging myself. That's still a work in progress. But yeah, I was thinking about it, and then I thought about it, the whole Turkish government. I don't know too much about it. I'm sure if you do, you would get whatever this is connected to. And then when it comes to, what about Turkey? Turkish and Persian, are those two similar? Or are they close? Turkey and Persia. History of Turkey. Achaemenid Persian rule in Anatolia ended with the conquest of Alexander the Great. My ex-fiance's middle name was Alexander. Wonderful. Conquest of Alexander the Great, defeating Darius III between 334 and 330 BC. 334. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for 334, and 330 BC, 6. So 1 and 6 is 7. BC, that's what, before Christ, right? Or you could say AB, which is 2, ABC, which is 3, which is 5, which is also symbolic for change. Alexander wrested control of the whole region from Persia in successive battles. See more for details. Where is it? Successive battles. Wasn't done reading that. Where'd it go? Understood the history and region now forming the Territory Republic of Turkey, includes the history of Anatolia. So am I saying that right? Anatolia. A-N-A-R-O-L-I-A. Asian part of Turkey. Ooh, interesting. Apparently I have some Persian and Mongolian roots in my blood. I'm a mix of like everything. I'm pretty sure it's an equal part, but I'm supposed to be Scottish and Italian. Eastern Thrace. Thrace. T-H. Race. Thrace. Or Thrace. European part of Turkey. Previously politically distinct regions came under control of the Roman Empire. All of this is from a nursery rhyme, Little Miss Muffet. And there's debates on what the origin of is. 1805, 1804 that it was first recorded. There are debates, because it's supposed to be an English nursery rhyme, but there are debates where the origin came from. Anyways, the history of Turkic peoples. So if it's grass, like tuffet, is originally like they made ottomans or footstools, which is a mushroom, man. I was saying mushroom before, and that's why a fucking ottoman looks like a fucking mushroom. The original ones Yeah, tuffet. And if she's eating her curds and whey, that had milk, that had sugar, that had vanilla, that had rennet, some sort of like stomach acid stuff, that had nutmeg and stuff. Remember what I was saying, when you go through like a fasting, or if you back in the day are used to not eating, when you eat certain things, it's going to trigger certain chemical releases in your body and create like a euphoria or a high, or even like super hyper or even mellow, different ways your body interacts with different foods. So let's say this young Miss Muffet, she's sitting there eating, and then she's having flashbacks of her, like, whatever trauma she went through or something like that. Or maybe if it is, if a tuffet is a mushroom or something like that, the spores or whatever, she's having some sort of flashback or trip or something like that. Anyways, it's connecting with the synapse of the brain, which I relate to the spider. That's my symbolic meaning behind it. Every time I see that, it's usually when I'm in a creative state. I see a little spider go running around. Depending on how big or small the project is how big or small the spider is when it comes to how in-depth and in what do you call that, connected I am with that part of my spiritual side. Anyways, Ottoman Empire, medieval, modern history of the Ottoman. O-T-T-O, man. So O, earth, earth, oh man. Like if you think both eyes. So if you have 4 circles, it's like the 2 sets coming together. Empire, the history of the Republic of Turkey. Ottoman Empire, historically. Oh, see, that's the flag. You see that? And how they do the spinning. Remember what I was showing you with that looking upwards at the star? How they do the spinning dance. I believe it's Turkish. How they are so good. And how ballerinas, they do the spinning. I don't know what that's called. Is that? It's not a pirouette. When they do the spinning. And there's some other dances that do it too. All dances go way back. There's symbolic reasons for that. But the Turkish, I think, are the ones that have the big dresses with the hats. And they do the spinning. It's really, to do that without getting dizzy, it's an art form. Interesting though. Can you imagine the first person that ever figured that out when they were looking up at the star, spinning, how it goes one way but spinning to the other, almost like we're a direct mirror effect, reflection. I think that's what mirrors were intended for, to show you that everything that's outside of you is a reflection of your own self. Anyways, Turkish Empire controlled much of Southeast Europe, Western Asia, Northern Africa between 14th century and early 20th centuries, and it was founded in the end of 13th century in northwest Anatolia. Okay, so go back to what I was saying. Anatolia, where the Stone Age artifacts, broad prehistoric tools. Scan through artifacts from the Paleolithic Paleolithic era, period in human history, distinguished original development, stone tools, the extension of ourselves. Would take that creative part of our brain to be activated in order to realize that we can make something extended from ourselves. Go Bekli Tepe, Neolithic archaeological site, southeastern Anatolia region of Turkey. Why does this feel like it's very, very important? Massive stone pillars. Is that the same, almost like Stonehenge? That would. So if this is in Turkey, the region right there, and let's say across the waters, that would be Scotland, Ireland, North Wales, even Hawaii over there and stuff like that. But then it's making me think of Vikings. The Vikings was one of the first ones, and that brings me back to the runes, something I was drawing since I was a little child, but I didn't understand what the hell they were until I was an adult. I made sense of them. Now, a huge part of what I do, and it comes into play with a lot of things, especially symbolically, with signs, symbols, language, writing, letters, everything. Bronze Age. The Bronze Age. They never talk about Copper Age. Civilization started. Maybe the copper is supposed to be... Maybe it's silver is supposed to be first. Copper is supposed to be second. Gold's supposed to be third. And bronze is supposed to be fourth. I don't know where that came from. Stone Age artifacts. Animal bones. Fossils were found. Burdur. B-U-R-D-U-R. B-U-R. D-U-R. B-U-R. And D is the part of the brain. U-R. Creative side, right? North of Anatolia. I always said if I ever had a child that I'd want to name her Aurora or Talia. T-A-L-Y-A. Anatolia, north of Anatolia. It's in a place. Cool. Although one of the origins, some of the earliest peoples... Oh, and my mom was going to name me Aziza. If you ever look into that, even biblically, Aziz. Not the greatest history there. Something to do with being shot in the chest. But I thought that was pretty cool. Need some redemption for that, but... That's if you believe in the past lives and birthmarks and all that sort of stuff. Anyways, get back to what I was saying. Anatolia found several archaeological sites located in southeastern part of region. Stone Age art. Again, this came from Little Miss Muffet. If we just break it down, we realize it's right in front of you. And the abundance of information we have right in front of us. Keep coming back to that. Go Backly Tepe. Earth E-P-E. Earth Ape. Earth E-P-E. G-O-B-I-C Lie. Developed on western coast. Classical Greek Aegean civilization began to flourish. The Aegean civilization. General term for the Bronze Age civilizations of Greece around the Aegean Sea. There are three distinct but communicating and interacting geographical regions covered by this term. Crete, Cyclades, and the Greek mainland. Crete is associated with the Minoan civilization. Bath, gymnasium, complex at Sardis in Turkey. Ooh, one of the first gymnasiums, is that it? They used to do gym, which is very important when it comes to learning about this whole spiritual stuff and getting in tune with your body and tuning your body. Exercise, especially stretching, exercise to exorcist the negative energies, to transmute the negative energies into positive energies, to exorcise any demons out of you. We all have light and dark within us. It's a duality. It's a constant battle back and forth, blah, blah, blah. But if you realize that you have to respect both sides, not give too much power to one side or the other, then you understand the duality of yourself from within outwards. And like going back and forth, what's this? Lydia, fall. After the fall. Classical history of Anatolia. Asia Minor can roughly be subdivided in classical period. Hellenistic Anatolia, ending with the conquest of the region of the Roman Empire in the 2nd century BC after the fall of Hittites, the new states of Phrygia. The pH is balanced. Gia. And Lydia stood strong. That's something I meant to look into when it comes to researching. Lydia stood strong on the west coast of Greek civilizations began to flourish. They and the rest of Anatolia were relatively soon after incorporating them. Anyways, there's so much here. See what else pops out at me here. Royal Road. Linked principal city of Susa. Susa. Interesting. Greco-Persian Wars. That's not Sparta, is it? Achaemenid Empire and Greek city-states started at 499 BC and lasted until 449 BC. Collision between the Phraticus and the political world of the Greeks and the enormous empire of the Persians began Cyrus. Ooh, there's a lot here. So much popping out at me. It's too much. It's overwhelming. Thrace. Thracian. Odrysian kingdom. Maximum extent under Cytocles. 431, 424 BC. Thracian. Odrysian. Anyways. Before the expansion of the kingdom of Maston, Thrace was divided into 3 camps, east, central, and west. Interesting. Just 3, huh? After the withdrawal of the Persians following their eventual defeat in mainland Greece, Cersobleptes, words I never use, son of Cotys the First, king of Odrysians in Thrace, whose death in September 360 BC, he inherited the throne. Throne of what? He inherited the throne. That was then. Anyways, okay, that's a lot.